What's up, everybody? It's your man Danelle, aka Small Guy Promotions, aka the Omaha Fattie, coming with another podcast episode of What's Up Omaha? Yeah. Uh, Today I have a wonderful guest, Leanne. Leanne joins us to talk about her wonderful crafting business. Leanne, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I am well. It's a good day. We've been having some good weather, so feeling good.
Perfect outside.
Yes, yes. So, Leanne, you have a crafting business that you started recently, and you call it Lulu's Craft Room.
Yep.
How did this start?
So it started almost a year ago, back December of last year. I've always been in the craft world. I've done scrapbooking, different things. And I've always been just fascinated with tumblers. So I decided, let's give it a try. So in December, I got 2 turners and I started. And by the end of December, I have 9 turners now.
Now, when you say turners, can you explain what a turner is?
Yes, so a turner is what the cups go on when you put epoxy on the tumblers. The tumblers have to go in a circular motion for 24 to 72 hours to keep that epoxy flowing and keep it smooth on the cups. And so they run continuously.
Okay, nice. So it's not a quick process for you to make the items that you're making when you're doing the tumblers.
When I do the epoxy tumblers, correct. It can take a week to 2 weeks, depending on the design, the detail that we're putting into the cup and the size of the cup. So I do anywhere from kids cups, we do sippy cups, baby bottles, all the way up to hydro bottles.
Nice. What's the coolest design that you've done so far, or the one that you've liked so much, or like better than like the rest?
My favorite one has to be my cup that I finally made myself back in late February. I am all about Halloween and scary movies and scary things, and I created a one-of-a-kind Beetlejuice cup. There's a lot of detail in this one, lots of glitter, lots of color, and of course, Beetlejuice himself.
Yeah. Don't say his name 3 times. So, I mean, I'd imagine like having the ability to create things like that, the possibilities are endless because you don't just do cups and tumblers, you do a bunch of different things. So what is like, how many different things are you doing with Lulu's Craft Room?
Well, so it originally started with just the tumblers. And in February, I decided, let's do a little more. So I started making sublimation. Sublimation is the transfer of ink through heat into your product. So I make sublimation tumblers, which those can be done in a day. The process is a lot easier, but your size choices kind of dwindle down. I can do 20 and 30 ounces, some hydro flask, but you don't get the creativity that I can put into the epoxy. I also do t-shirts, baseball caps, keychains, mouse pads, you name it. The possibilities are endless. So basically when a customer reaches out and says, hey, can you do this? I find a way.
And how long of a learning curve is this? Like what's the process for you when you start to do something else? So you said you started with the tumblers, but now you're doing t-shirts and hats and whatnot, keychains or whatever it is. What's the process for you behind all of that?
So I do work a full-time job, Monday through Friday. So after I get off work, I work more. So I come up to Lulu's Craft Room and I work on tumblers and t-shirts. And it's a lot of researching, lots of watching videos. There are so many amazing YouTube videos out there. there. TikTok is a great platform to research as well. So I research at night, lots of late nights, and then I work all weekend. And I take those methods that I learn and I practice them until I get it right. And then I put it out on my Facebook page and announce, hey, look what I can do now. Let me know what you need.
Nice. Well, and yeah, I definitely understand that too with my daughter, who is, kind of along those same lines of creating things and crafting. She's doing the jewelry. She started watching videos on doing the resin pieces for the jewelry that she was making, and she's done all this stuff. She's just on her own, watching YouTube videos, learning how to do all this stuff. And I'm like, where did you learn? Like, how did you learn this? She's like, I just watch videos on YouTube. And
It's
then she
so
sells it.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's really amazing how so many talented people share how to do these things.
Yep.
I have lots of people that I follow on YouTube, and I get ideas from them, and ideas spark, and I see something and I said, hey, I can do this or I can do that. And I just come into the craft room and put it together and see where it goes. And it's been an amazing journey the last year. When I first started, it was a hobby.
Yeah.
And that hobby is completely blown into another full-time business.
And that's how it goes too. A lot of times you just are naturally drawn to something, or you're naturally good at something, and then you do it, and then you get enough people that say, hey, this is really good, you should sell this. I mean, whether it be you being a baker or a chef or whatever it is, but
Exactly.
people give you enough compliments and they're like, you could bottle this up and sell this. You could package this and sell this. And you're like,
yeah.
Well, man, enough people have told me that maybe I should start looking into this.
Now, recently, and when I say recently, within the last couple months, I ventured out. So I was doing sublimation on t-shirts. And sublimation was a little more tricky. Your fabric type has to be a higher polyester count, so 65% and higher. With the pandemic, we have a lot more people that are venturing out and learning how to do these things. And so it's really hard to get your hands on merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
And so I decided that I wanted to do screen print transfers. So I have a shirt on today that I made from screen print transfer. So a couple months ago, I purchased an iColor Uninet 560 printer. The learning curve has been tremendous with this. It came with a 7-hour training class program, right? I kind of broke it down in chunks. So Monday, I'd watch a couple hours, Tuesday, take a break on Wednesday, Thursday, do a couple more. But this printer, the things that it can do is just mind-blowing. Obviously, I can do screen prints. Sizes go up to 8.5 by 11 by 14, but then you can, if you want to make a print bigger, it comes with a program called Smart Cut, mm-hmm. which it will allow you to print into multiple chunks and then piece it together. It can also make window clings, temporary tattoos. It has material to where you can print on leather, wood, glass. I mean, the possibilities are just endless. So as the weeks roll on, I'm learning and just playing with it more and more and more.
That's cool. I mean, that shows how serious you take this. If you're doing 7 hours of a training video on using this one item. So that's crazy. That's a long time considering everything else that you have going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the smart way to do it too, is breaking it down. So you're not, consuming that all in one day or whatever, but yeah, that, and then testing it out. That's of course, it's one thing to go through the training, but the hands-on experience that you get is, a whole other thing. So,
Absolutely.
And you said that this was a hobby and now you've turned it into a business. So I know that we've talked, but they don't know. Anyone watching or listening doesn't know. So what is your goal for Lulu's Craft Room? Is it that you want it to be your full-time job, or is it still just something that you just want to keep it on the side and do it for fun and make a little extra cash for it? Or
I
from it?
would absolutely love to take Lulu's craft room full time. My dream is to own a store. I would love to teach what I do to other people. I have visitors that come into my craft room all the time and spend a couple hours to an entire day with me to learn how to make t-shirts, how to make tumblers, how to do sublimation. I am completely open to anyone coming over at any time and saying, hey, teach me how to do this. I love sharing my knowledge, and I would love to have this as a full-time thing and not have two jobs, because it gets overwhelming at times.
I understand. Yeah, I understand. Well, you know, as we're doing now through Zoom, I mean, you could even do classes through Zoom. I know a lot of people do that. You could have your little sign up link, and then they just pay whatever little fee it is that you have, and then they sign up and they come in and they can ask questions and interact.
That's a great idea.
Just saying, it's a possibility.
That's a great idea. I might have to think more about that.
Yeah, I mean, with today's technology, we have so many like opportunities that you wouldn't have had in prior years, like in the past. So it's great, and it's just whatever you can imagine is like you can do. So there's a way to do everything.
Absolutely.
It seems like.
Yeah, and I would love to share what I do with other people. It brings me so much joy, and I have so much passion for it. I want everybody to know how to do it.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool. And it's such a wide range of things that you can do with all the different designs. And I mean, there's just so much stuff, like whatever you can think of, you can make. I mean, something that you're a fan of, if it's a show or whatever. So you can create your own things, or you can use stuff that's already designed and turn that into something as well. So that's what's cool.
Yeah, I love it. And I forgot to mention, so on the screen printing piece, I know I had mentioned on sublimation, you have to use a higher count polyester for your t-shirts. Sublimation or screen printing, you can put onto any type of fabric. So it can be cotton, blankets, any type of fabric that you have, you can apply screen printing on.
Nice. So you did it just as a hobby before. How many years before you actually started in December did you play around with this type of stuff?
I hadn't.
At all?
Not with tumblers. So I started in the scrapbooking world over 20 years ago. I worked in a scrapbooking store out by Oakview for about 5 years, managing that, teaching classes. And scrapbooking, that's just taking pictures to paper, being creative, keeping those memories. So my children have hundreds of books. Mom always had the camera out, taking pictures, and just using that creative side to keep those memories. So when they got into their adulthood, they had something to look back on. Yep. I had taken a break for a few years, kids, life, jobs. And then when the pandemic hit, I was at home and I was bored, and I said, what can I do? And I started crafting back in October, just making some holiday gifts for people. I was doing shadow boxes, tea towels, different things like that, Christmas ornaments. And then the idea just sparked. I have a guest room. I have room. Let's turn it into a craft room. And that's where Lulu's craft room came in. And I started with that one tumbler, and then I got my second spinner, and now I'm up to 9 spinners. So I have one wall is all spinners for the tumblers. And then the other side, I have a normal printer, a sublimation printer, a screen printer, and a t-shirt press. And then I also still use Cricut. So I use my Cricut to cut out words and designs for my cups. Here's a sublimation tumbler. So like I said, this process is a little easier. Yep. Just 2 months ago, I learned how to do hydro dipping, which is on your cup. That process is so much fun because no cup will ever look the same. You can use the same colors, but the design on the cup will never, ever come out the same.
Nice.
It is so much fun.
Well, and speaking of the cups and why I showed this, let's talk about how we actually came into contact with one another. So you actually were a supporter or are a supporter of Small Guy and Omaha Fattie, and you reached out to me and said, "Hey, I made you something," and we had never talked. Like,
Yep.
I mean, we may have commented on each other's threads or something before, but we had never actually talked or met or anything. So how did all this come to be?
So back in January, I have followed Omaha Fattie for a very long time. That is one of the most amazing hydro dips, I have to say. I have followed Omaha Fattie, and through the pandemic, my heart was so warm with you on how you continue to show your support to small businesses, even though everything was shut down.
Had to.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And so I said, I need to make him a cup. I'm going to make him a cup. So back in January, the wheel started spinning, and sometimes it's harder to come up with ideas. And when that happens, it may take me a little longer to process and finish your cup. But I'm a perfectionist at heart, and I have to think of every single possibility. How can I do this? What size cup? It really is a long thought process. And so I told my husband, we have got to make this man a cup. And so for a few months, we thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. And then I learned how to hydro dip. And I said, that's it. We're going to do a hydro dip with the colors from his logo. And so I stole your logo from your Facebook page and used my Cricut to print them out, hydro dip the cup, and that's where we got Danelle's cup.
Man, and let me tell you again, like, I had no idea of what it was when you said I made your gift. Like, I knew you had the Lulu's craft room, but I wasn't sure what it was. And then when I came over and you were like, you got to open it now. And then when I opened it, I was like, oh man, this is so like cool. You know, like I was just like super touched that someone would think to do something so like thoughtful. And
we just wanted to show our appreciation to you for what you do for the community, because it's so amazing. A lot of people don't think about the smaller businesses, and we want to make sure to keep them up and running. And there's so many great places to eat here, and I love watching your videos. And so we wanted to just give you a small token of appreciation for what you do for the community.
And I loved it. You know, I loved it. So, and I loved it so much that, I mean, if you guys listen or follow the podcast, I made a podcast about the cup because I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. And, you know, from me, we never even thought about this, but, you know, I posted the photos and stuff and people were like, ooh, I'd buy that cup. And I'm like, well, it's not really for sale, but I was like, you know what? Let me reach out to Leanne and see if she would mind doing some more. And then, I mean, I'll just be the middleman, and, you know, whoever wants one, they can pay and they can have the cup, and it's a win-win. You get paid. It's a thank you from me to you for, you know, making a cup in the first place. And then also the logo's out there with more people. And I think we had 8 cups, I think it was, that people purchased. And there were a couple people who missed out and they said, hey, if you do this again, you know, let me know or something. There was some lady on Facebook who said that she was sad that she didn't get a cup. I was like, I don't know. I posted it out there. I don't know. I mean.
Send me her info.
Yeah, I'll have to try to find it. I can't remember what post it was on, but I was like, well, you know, if we do something else again, I'll make sure to post it like we normally do. Or I don't know. We're talking about, like I said, getting into the merchandising field at some point, but I don't know how we'll play all that out. I'll have to talk to my partner and we go from there. But it's just cool to think that people even want
absolutely
the Omaha Fattie logo. Like, I'm like, wow. So
that just got me thinking, I probably should make a Lulu's craft room cup.
Why not? Why not?
After all of about 3 or 4 months ago, I tried to go in and just count how many cups I've made since last December. Hundreds of cups, not including all of the t-shirts, keychains, card decals. I do card decals as well. I can't keep up, but through the year process, I've only made myself one cup.
Make yourself a cup. Make yourself a cup. So I do want to ask you too. So it seems like something where there would be a lot of custom orders. Are you doing is it all individual people who are ordering from you, or are you getting any bulk orders from people for like maybe a small work office or a small team, or, like just a small business who wants to give some type of appreciation to their employees, or what type of stuff are you doing in that realm?
So I absolutely get both. I am out on Facebook, and then I have my personal Instagram that I drop some pictures on. Those are the two platforms that I'm getting orders through right now. But I have people reach out just for individual cups. They see something they like, or I've done sports cups for kids that were in softball, baseball, football. I also have bulk orders that I take. I just did all of the t-shirts for the Nebraska Ram Club of Omaha. I just did all of their t-shirts. Everything that comes through the door is custom. I want my customers to be happy with the size of the cup, the colors of the cup, all the way down to the font. I will tell you where you can go out and research fonts, just to make sure that everything that you're getting is perfect. So between emails, text messages, phone calls, messages through Facebook, I take those custom orders. And be prepared, if you order, I'm going to ask you 15 questions, because I want you to get exactly what you want.
Right.
Down to, if you're getting glitter on it, do you want fine? Do you want chunky? Do you want multiple colors? Do you want an ombre look? Do you want hydro? Do you want your name on it? Do you want a phrase on it? Any pictures? How large do you want the pictures? Are we doing a sublimation? Are we doing epoxy? So just be prepared. I am going to ask you 15 questions, as I would expect if I was ordering from someone else, because that's your money.
Yeah.
You're paying for a product, and I want you to be completely happy with it. And let me tell you, if you order a cup and I finish it and you don't like it, just tell me. I'll redo it. I have no problem starting over or redoing something because it wasn't your vision.
Right.
But I work with the customers. We do single orders. We do bulk orders. At the end of the school year last year, I did orders for teachers as teacher appreciation gifts. Coach gifts. We did t-shirts this summer for coaches. Mother's Day, Father's Day, we did a lot of keychains for moms and dads. Like I said before, just the possibilities are endless. And if it's something that you really want, let me know. We'll figure it out together.
And with that, you're also doing events. Like, you told me that you have an event coming up that you're preparing for. Is this your first event or first big event?
It is. So last year during the pandemic, a few friends and myself, since all of the craft fairs had been shut down, we set up shop here in my house, and we had three or four vendors that came in. We were selling scarves, we were selling customized, like the tea towels, the shadow boxes. We had Scentsy here. We also had a guy, his name is Lane. Sorry, Lane. He does 3D printing, the most amazing thing I have ever seen. And so we had people come through, and that was kind of like my first experience. But this year, September 25th, I will be my first craft fair at Apple Fest in Woodbine, Iowa.
Nice.
So I will be a vendor inside of the school. I'm just over the moon excited about this. And then my second one will be in December. It's the Winter Wonderland at Oakview.
Ah, nice. Nice. So good for you. I'm glad to see you're getting out there more, and I got my fingers crossed for you to be able to quit that
Yeah.
full-time job and make it that's the goal. That's me too. I'm like, hey, how can I get out of this full-time gig? You know,
Right.
if it wasn't for the benefits, I wouldn't be there. So, but yeah, it's great to see. This is the type of thing that I enjoy. You mentioned that you guys like me because I was supporting local, but that's what it's all about, is because people deserve to be happy. And
Yes.
what could make you more happy than following a dream or doing something that you love doing and seeing the reaction of people who receive that and appreciate it? Like,
Mhm.
that is just, that's what it's about. And I don't know, it's just something about seeing other people succeed that it makes you feel good. And
It does. It absolutely does. And when you're passionate about something, your face lights up, and the excitement, you can feel that excitement when you have that passion for what you do. And I definitely have the passion. I love being creative, and I love getting those custom orders and thinking, how can I make this person happy with my creativity?
Yep. Yep. Man, I think we covered it all, man. You have anything else that you would like to tell the people listening or viewing about Lulu's Craft Room?
Um, I'm excited to be here. I appreciate all of my customers, my fans. It's a passion that I have, and that passion burns inside. And even if you don't purchase my product, just sharing my page, getting my name out there, liking and following Lulu's Craft Room on Facebook, that warms my heart. And that shows that other people have that passion for what I do. And I appreciate it. You can find me on Instagram just under Leanne Buell, or if you're on Facebook, Lulu's Craft Room. And I'm also on TikTok under Leanne Buell.
Cool.
I do a couple. I like the TikTok world, but kind of new to it.
Yeah. I tell you, it's crazy because it can blow. I mean, something can blow up just, you're not expecting it to, and it, before you know it, thousands of people see it and, are commenting or whatever. So yeah, I think that's the type of thing, like when you put it on the spinner and stuff, that's the type of thing that people enjoy checking out for, 30 to 45 seconds or whatever. So it's a good space to be in as well.
Next time we talk, I'll have to do it on my cell phone so I can give you a tour of the room. I wasn't thinking today. We're on the laptop.
No, that's all right. Hey, that's where I'm at too. So, well, again, ladies and gentlemen, you can find her on September 25th at the, what is it called again? Apple Fest?
Apple Fest in Woodbine, Iowa. It's about a 35-minute drive outside of Omaha. It's a beautiful drive. There is going to be so much to do out there. They're doing helicopter rides this year. There's an antique car show. There's a pancake feed. There's going to be tons of vendors, food trucks, and it is all day long, Saturday, September 25th.
There you go. And if you don't go there, again, you can find her on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok.
Not TikTok viral, but I'm on TikTok.
Well, that's all. Hey, you never know. It only takes the right person, one person, to see it and share it, or whatever, and then you've got all these new followers and these new orders coming in, and then you quit your job, and then you make this a real legit, like, full-time thing. So, Leanne, thank you so much for being on. I appreciate you. And again, thank you for my cup. Like, I love it, and I'm glad that people wanted this cup and we were able to get them some. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching, if you are listening to the podcast, please help us grow. As Leanne just said, all the likes, shares, and subscriptions, all the subscribes, it helps us grow. That's what we need from you guys. We don't need money or anything like that. We just need you to engage with us wherever you see or hear us and help us grow. Follows help, all that stuff. If you comment on a post on Lulu's Craft Room, other people may see it, and that's all that it takes. Same thing with the podcast. Like, share, subscribe. And then you can comment as well. We really appreciate that. And that's what helps us grow. If you do enjoy it and you want us to succeed as we want others to succeed, that's all that you have to do. It's that simple. I don't need any money from you, at least not right now. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. As we end every episode, smile, help someone else smile, laugh, and help someone else laugh all day, every day. Yeah. Thank you, Leanne.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.
Yeah, it was good to talk to you again.